Coming up on today's episode. Good Sunday afternoon to you all, YouTube. Here with you at the computer once more. I have another project I have been working on, and I also have an update on the Buick Ranger radio. I've got some things going on it as well. But for this first part, I want to take and show you what I bought on eBay the other day. And let's take a look at that real quick. Now this is as the ad says, a vintage General Electric dual speaker. Solid state tested speakers work. So basically what this is a very, very basic AM radio. But the thing that caught my eye is it has dual speakers. And why is that important? Well, stay tuned. Let's find out. Let's take a closer look at this. There you can see on top, obviously, there are two speakers there. And front's not too fancy. It's just basically a volume knob and a tuner. And so let's take another look here. There you can see the speakers a little closer. There's dual speaker solid state AM. And that's what it is. It's obviously dirty. It needs cleaning, but that's not a big deal either. So there's the other side. So, like I say, there's a look at the back too. Looks like the sticker's gone off of it. But I was able to determine the model because I purchased one of these. And some of you may recall that. But I purchased one of these single speakers exactly like this. And I bought it for the express purpose of using the IF section in the radio to hook up to my Motorola tuner, tube-type tuner, to basically see if I could get the signal through, and I've yet to do that. You know me, I start projects and then I get sidetracked and get off on another tangent, and that's what happens with me. But I am who I am. It is what it is. It's just the way it goes. So anyway, the reason I bought that, you guys may recall that I bought a couple of Bluetooth modules that I couldn't use with the Ranger, and I thought, being as those have speaker outputs, why not put one in here? And if you look at this would probably be a good spot for it right there. And I'm thinking, that would be kind of neat to have the AM, the FM, the Bluetooth, the MP3 player, all that in one little combination unit, compact. I think it might make a decent little item. So that's why I decided to buy this. I ended up buying this for let's see what it was. Oh yeah, it was $12. I offered $12 for it, and the seller took it. So I got that on the way, and that will be here. Well, it says between Thursday, March 2nd and Friday, March 3rd. Well, either day, I guess. But anyway, so when that arrives, we'll get to it. But I thought what we would do in the meantime is take a look at the circuit, how I plan to modify it. And Bob has helped me on this a little bit, and I'll explain that as we go. So let's take a look at that. I do have the schematic for this. It is basically the same as the single speaker, obviously, but it has dual speakers, and I will show you that as well. So let's take a look at that now. All right, we are back once again. As you can see, this is the schematic for this. Now, this is the one I got for the single speaker one when I bought it, when I got it. I found this online. T1130B, I think, is the number. But anyway, what you see here basically is the fact that this is the dual speaker model as well. The only thing is it's got two speakers instead of one. If we take a look at that, we'll basically, ours is the one I'm buying is going to be this with the dual speaker option. No dotted line on it. So that's what that's going to look like. Now, if we go into our modifications and take a look at what I have planned for that, we can see here real quickly that we'll switch to the next frame. Alright, what you see now is basically the same radio. In fact, it's the same exact thing. I haven't got the dotted line removed from this one. I had done this before I did that other, but not a big deal. This is the Bluetooth module power supply that Bob came up with, and I thought, well, that looks pretty good. Now, I don't know how well you can tell, but this is an AC set. It's got full line voltage coming in here. Here's the rectifier right here. It's got a fusible link here, a fusible resistor, whatever you want to call it. And it obviously drops the voltage down some. And like I said, I think here is 83, I believe is what that says. I can't see it for sure, but anyway, we go down here to this point right here. It goes through a 15K resistor and comes out 6 volts on this side. And if we go up here, our added branch here, we go to a 3K3 resistor, 3300 ohm resistor, and another capacitor, and we have a Zener diode here, 5.1 volts. That is where we'll take our Bluetooth module power from, and that will give us, if you recall from the demo of this module, that it takes 5 volts to run it, and so that's what we're going to do. And if that should work out rather well, I think, and I'm hoping anyway. So that takes care of the power, but now what about the rest of it? Now, you may look at this and you say, well, you know, it's still got an AM radio, and we actually want to take advantage of that, but we don't really want to take advantage of this part, the audio amp, because we're going to be routing our amplifier, or I mean our audio, through the Bluetooth module. In fact, I'll use the aux input for that, so that we can make use of our stereo speakers, because we're going to be doing a modification here as well, and I'll show you that in our next frame. Let's go to that now. Alright, what you see now on the screen is our next modifications. What I've done here is remove this, I think it was C10, I don't recall, from the circuit, basically disconnecting the audio amp completely from this. And the audio amp is not a very big deal here, because it's just 2 transistors is all it is. So I figure the 3 watt output of the module should be more than enough audio power for this. And what I've done is obviously separated the line right there. This is off the wiper of the volume control, and basically that will go into the aux input on the Bluetooth module. So when we switch to aux, that will be the same as switching to AM on the radio, and our audio coming out of the radio then will be from the radio section over here of the radio. And that should work out well. Of course, now the FM is built into the aux or the Bluetooth module, so we'll get FM from that. We'll probably add a little wire for the FM onto the FM module, and put that in the back of the radio somewhere. But that's that. Then for the speakers, we have disconnected them from the audio output here, as you can see, and routed them this way. You got your center here for the 2 speakers, comes down the black wire. The green wire is coming to one of the speakers, and I don't even know which is left and right, but it doesn't really matter. And the gray wire is the other one. So that's the type of output that module has on it, because that's what I hooked it up when I was hooking it up the other day in the demonstration. So that should work out rather well, I do believe. And, well, we'll find out, won't we? So, as you can see, we have basically 3 modifications here. Got the power added up here, and I do have some 5.1 Zener diodes on the way, too, that will facilitate this to allow us to do this. This cap here, I probably have that. I don't really know for sure, but it's going to have to be, I don't know, 150 volts, so 160, whatever. And I may have to buy that, but like I said, that's not a big deal. And so, like I said, of course, the resistor, I'll have that. So anyway, that part should be well ready to go when the radio gets here. And like I said, we can go ahead and switch. Now all this clock switch, and this is for clock radio. The way these GEs work, they had different models that use basically the same board for, one with a clock radio or one with a dual speaker, or you know what I'm saying. And that's just the way they worked. So I haven't looked up here yet to see exactly where I'm going to have to go to find the different points, but that shouldn't be a problem at all, I don't think. And like I said, you can see that's the way that works. And so let's go and look now and see what else we've got here going on the Buick. Now, I haven't started modifications on the Ranger itself. I toyed with an idea for a while of doing something completely different, and I'm going to do that, but not with the Ranger. I decided to go ahead and do the modifications like I said I was going to on the Ranger. Put the RCA jacks in the back, on the back panel there of the chassis, and also a switch or a connection for the power for the module, and that will all be coming out of the back there and go into the module. And also, while I was at it, I went ahead and bought something that I don't have yet, and that's something that's kind of important to have. And if we look over here, we can see, yeah, two 6x9s. Yeah, we need them speakers for for the back of the Buick. And I also went out, and I'm going to insert a picture in here and show you what it looks like. In fact, two pictures. There's one side, the first side that we're going to look at is the passenger side. As you can see, there is a cutout for a 6x9 there, and very clearly, and we'll mount one of the speakers there. But if we look at the other picture now, this is the driver's side. You can see there is no actual cutout for that, and one will have to be added, and so that's what we'll have to do. But should not be a problem. I think I can do that from above without getting into the trunk, trying to cut, upside down and things like that, because I don't know, those days are kind of past for me. And what I'm going to do is mark out use a template and mark it out on the package tray on top, and it'll take my Dremel with the cutoff wheel and go around it and carefully, cut it out, and that should be, work as well. I might have to I'll use the drill to cut the holes for the speaker screws, but other than that, should be a good deal, I think. So that should work out well for that. So that's coming. But again, the other parts, I'll go ahead and explain this other one while I'm here and show you what I'm talking about on it. The other thing that I am working on, or thinking about working on, I guess is what I should say, is here's the other item that I bought. You guys, you older guys, may remember these. These were the 8-track to cassette adapters, and this one happens to be a Sparkomatic. And there's a good reason I chose that one, because the way it is, I think I offered $5 for this. I got it for $5. So I've got that on the way. That should actually be here Monday or Tuesday. So that'll be tomorrow or Tuesday. And that should work out rather well too, I believe. So let's, that's not going to be for this project though. That's going to be, I'm going to mount that in, one of the Bluetooth modules that I've got coming into a 3D printed, basically a 8-track cassette tape case, and that will be able to insert into any 8-track. It doesn't have to be this one. Any 8-track will work, and it will be able to use basically the head-to-head. Let's see if I've got a picture of that in here. I think, yeah, there it is. That there on the left is the actually not on the left, but in the middle of the picture is the head-to-head contact point for this unit. It basically magnetically transfers the signal from, actually on this one, the cassette, but we're going to use it for the Bluetooth module, and it's going to transfer that directly to the head of the 8-track and be able to do that. Now if you look over here, you'll see these two bars. I don't know if I can, let's see if I can, yeah, here we go. these two bars here make contact with the on the tape unit. There's a selector switch that automatically senses when a foil piece of foil on the tape goes past and switches the tracks. Well, this is a 12 volt switch. It has 12 volts on one side and ground on the other side, and when that makes contact there, it makes that selector switch. But it also will, for this purpose, will provide our 12 volts for the module, and that's what we're going to be using that for. So that will be neat. So that should work rather well, I do believe, and like I said, that's the plan, anywho. And so that's what I'm going to do there. Now, this is not the first time this has been done. In fact, I found somebody had already printed up one of these for this purpose, an 8-track cartridge, and I'm going to use that for my basic design, but then I'm going to modify it a little because they used it for something else. So I'm going to use it for this and for a Bluetooth module, and so that's what I'm going to do with that. So that's coming up too. Let's get off of that real quick. Now back onto the Buick again. If we look at the other item that I bought. All right, this is another item I bought. I think I got this for $10, I think. Pretty sure. So, like I said, this is an Audiovox 40-watt sound exploder car stereo amplifier. Now, I had one of these when I was younger. I wasn't exactly a teenager back then, but I had one, and it was the 1976 Chevrolet Caprice at the time. It had in fact, I got to remember the radio in it was an AM/FM stereo Sparkomatic, and that was it. Actually, that Sparkomatic was one of the few radios you could buy that had AM stereo, and that's one of the reasons I bought it. And anybody that's driven in a car with the windows down, going down the highway at 50 miles an hour, you don't hear the radio very good. Well, with the amplifier, you do. So I didn't get this. This is not the one I had particularly, the model or anything like that. I think I had a Roadstar or something like that. In fact, I found another one online that looked just like it, so I think that's it. But this one does the same thing, and basically, if you look at the backs of it and the pictures of this, it hooks up to your speakers of the car stereo, in our case, the Ranger, and it has basically all the inputs there and the outputs for two speakers which will go in the back there, our 6x9s. And there's all the wires coming out. Of course, I'll wire all that up really good and put that in the console as well. It's missing one knob, they said, but I'm not going to be mounting it that way anyway, so it's not a big deal to me. So, like I said, it's got a crack there too. That's not a big deal either. As long as it works, that's all I'm caring about. And I believe the guy said it did work. So, like I say, that's coming too. I thought, why not go all out? And if I'm going to have a cruiser like this, I want some tunes while I'm cruising it. So, I went ahead and bought this. And like I said, now these are, anybody that's ever had one of these, they're not the best. But they sound pretty good, especially at higher volumes. When you're like I say, when you're doing 50 or 60 miles an hour on the road, the windows are down. You really don't hear all the any kind of the hum or anything like that from them, and it like I say, it sounds pretty darn good. So I've got one of them coming as well. So I thought maybe that would be kind of fun. And so I decided to go all out on the Buick and might as well put some decent music in it and sound on it. So that's the things I've got planned for that. So a lot going on in the DERB world, and I will be doing the Buick stuff on DERB because it is all electronic stuff anyway. So that's the plan. So. Like I said, I do have my work cut out for me. I've got to get out there. Well, we've got some good weather coming. I think highs are supposed to be in the 50s and 60s the next week or so, and so I may try to get the Buick out and try to get that cut and get that other package tray. And I've got the old package tray, the cardboard piece. I I want to make a new one of those as well while I'm at it, because you might as well do that while you got it going out, and then I can cut that too at the same time and put that in. So clean up that back tray really good, and like I said, that should be done as well. So anywho, that's what we're looking at here at today on a Sunday, just talking about the things I've got planned, and I think that's kind of neat. So we will be doing that hopefully very soon. And so you guys have a great day. Beautiful sunny day here in Seymour. And I think it's up in the 60s again today. So, I probably shouldn't be sitting here in this chair, but I am. So you guys have a great day. Thanks so much for watching. And we will see ya.